Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steve Kerr starts to trim the rotation. It's unclear if the Golden State Warriors can transcend goodness, or even mediocrity this season. That is, as they say, why they play the games, and with the 2024-25 NBA season kicking off this week, we're about to learn just how good this team can be. But while we don't know if the Dubs will be great, we've known for a while that they have a bit of a roster crunch due to the depth of their good players. They simply have too many good players to fit into a 48-minute game. Which means some players are going to be on the outside looking in to start the season. We know who two of those players will be: off-season acquisition Lindy Waters III, and 20,222 second-round pick Gue Santos. Coach Steve Kerr revealed on Monday, 2 days before the team's season opener, that Waters and Santos will start the year not in the rotation. That leaves 12 players jockeying for rotation spots: Steph Curry, Brandon Podziemski, DeAnthony Melton, Gary Payton II, Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, Kyle Anderson, Draymond Green, Tracy Jackson-Davis, and Kevin Looney. Kerr has been fairly open that he'd like to get the rotation down to 10 players, which means another 2 players will likely be dealt some unfortunate news in the next day or two. Payton seems like the most obvious choice. The Warriors already had a crowded backcourt before deciding to use a large starting lineup, as it looks like Wiggins will slide into the 2-guard spot in the opening 5. It's hard to see GPII jumping over prized off-season acquisitions Melton and Hield, or someone as valued as Podziemski, who the team reportedly refused to include in potential Lauri Markkanen trade packages. And given Kerr's openly stated desire to shoot more threes this year, Payton is a harder fit due to his lack of a reliable three-point shot. But after GPII? It's hard to find another player to remove from the rotation. Anderson might be most likely, as he hasn't played a ton this preseason, and doesn't necessarily have a carrying skill that the Warriors aren't getting somewhere else. Looney could also be an option if Kerr is comfortable playing Green at the 5 with some regularity. Fans have grown accustomed to Moody getting passed over, though he's been the most impressive player on the team this preseason, and just inked a 3-year extension. One thing's for sure: opportunities are going to arise for all these players, including Waters and Santos. Injuries will keep the rotation in a state of semi-constant flux, and players will play themselves in and out of roles. There might even be a trade at some point, which would further facilitate things. Steph Curry shouts out NFL team in recent interview. Not so long ago, the Golden State Warriors were like the Kansas City Chiefs. They were the team to beat in the NBA. Everybody wanted a piece of them, they were constantly doubted, yet they continued to find ways to get to the mountaintop and win the whole thing. Notably, plenty of that had to do with Stephen Curry's rise to stardom. Still, for most of their history, the Warriors were a bottom-feeding team, sort of like the Carolina Panthers right now. That's why they need to take a page from the Warriors' book, build through the NFL draft, and hope for the best. Curry is a diehard Panthers fan. He even gave them a shout-out in his latest interview with Scott Van Pelt via Ari Merev. Curry yelled, "Go, Panthers," at the end of his interview, and Van Pelt jokingly wished him good luck with that. Truth be told, there doesn't seem to be much of a light at the end of the tunnel for the Panthers. Their owner isn't patient, the team hasn't made good personnel decisions, and they've already given up on their number 1 pick less than 2 seasons into his career. Then again, we've seen how quickly things can change in sports. Sometimes, all it takes is a move for a team to get on the right path and fulfill its potential. Who knows? Maybe it won't be long before the Panthers get back to their winning ways and finally make Stephen Curry proud again. Grade the trade idea: Jimmy Butler teams up with Steph Curry as Heat reset. It's that time of the offseason where we're seeing Ben Simmons workout videos on the timeline. With the lack of NBA news circulating, it's only natural that hypothetical trades become a topic of discussion. Recently, there's been an uptick in Jimmy Butler trade rumors due to his contract situation, and Bleacher Report proposed a few scenarios for the Heat star. If Butler leaving after this season is a real possibility, then the Miami Heat could explore trade options, and the Golden State Warriors would make a lot of sense as a potential suitor. Bleacher Report outlined the following trade: Jimmy Butler and Josh Richardson for Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, Kevin Looney, Gary Payton II, a 2025 first-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick and a 2028 first-round pick swap. Does this make sense for both teams involved? Let's talk about it. The Warriors are still a great team when both Steph Curry and Draymond Green are playing. Last season, they posted a net rating of plus 6.2 with both on the court, per cleaning the glass. Acquiring a player of Butler's caliber could be the push to win one last ring with this legendary duo, and there's a strong case to be made for the positive impact it would have on the court. Butler does most of his damage in the paint, so his fit with Curry should be seamless. Looking at last year, the Warriors struggled in a few areas where Butler could really help them. The Warriors' motion offense is a thing of beauty, and no team moves without the ball as well as they do. Unsurprisingly, Golden State led the NBA in cuts per game at 11.9, but they ranked in the 38th percentile in converting these looks into points. A master at finding open space without the ball in his hands, Butler should help in this regard. A lack of rim pressure was another struggle for the Warriors last season, as they were second to last in the league in drives per game. Butler averaged 14 drives per game, and his ability to get into the paint would help create easier looks for Golden State's shooters, all numbers via NBA stats. The Warriors are giving up a lot in this deal, so replenishing some depth would be needed to contend if this trade were to happen. Nonetheless, Butler's elite two-way abilities could be the missing piece to this Warriors dynasty getting its fifth ring. Speaking for myself, I have no interest in the Jimmy Butler era in Miami ending in a trade. The incredible playoff moments Butler has had on the Heat have been an utter joy to witness. To me, the Heat trading Jimmy Butler this season means two things: the chances of winning a championship are slim to none, and there is a good chance he walks away in the offseason, with Miami getting nothing in return. If both these things are true, then I understand the sentiment of wanting him to be traded, and there is a lot to like about this hypothetical package from the Warriors. To start, Jonathan Kuminga is an awesome young talent. He has freakish physical tools and looks well on his way to being an elite slasher in the NBA. Adding Kuminga to a young core that includes Jamie Jaquez Jr. and Nikola Jovic would be intriguing. It would give the Heat three big wings who have shown flashes of shot creation chops. The draft capital Miami would be receiving is nothing to scoff at either, in particular the 2027 and 2028 picks. If the Warriors are built around aging stars Curry, Butler, and Green, it's possible that those picks will be valuable. Rounding out the trade with a handful of veterans who have contributed to winning a championship, I think this package would be about as good as it gets for Miami. The only thing keeping me from giving this an A grade is the disappointment of Jimmy Butler leaving Miami without a ring. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.